Hey, how's it going, guys? Just wanted to showcase a new app that I'm building. It's still in development. It's called Alchemy Factory Planner. It's a factory planner app for Alchemy Factory, obviously. The main idea is planning entire factory loops and not just single recipes. So that's what I'm trying to do here and what I'm trying to accomplish with this app. So just want to show you guys around a little bit. This is the skill profile panel here that we can set all our in-game stats to, so that our productions and requirements mirror that of the playthrough that we're currently on at the stats that we're currently on. So I just put in an example here. I started a new playthrough. I think I'm through maybe tier 6 or something so far, and these are my current stats in game. I'm gonna go ahead and close that out. I'm gonna show you guys what's going on. This is the plan page. So you can create plans, duplicate them, open shared ones to tweak for your own world. So each plan is basically a sandbox for figuring out what you want to build before you build it in game. Okay, so we're going to start with creating a plan. And this is a blank canvas that shows up when you create a plan. And we can rename it according to what we're trying to do. So let's see, I'm going to call it 1.2 Jupiter per minute 6 shapers, because I want to make 6 shapers worth of Jupiter production, which equates to 1.2 in game. So name it that. As soon as I do that, I'll be able to start adding goals. So the first of which is that Jupiter as our end goal, so we want to add that first. The fuel, I don't think this plan directly uses any fuel, but you can set anything here if you want, just in case you want to extend it or change this goal to something that does require fuel. I do want to use advanced fertilizer because I do have that unlocked. And again, the target rate should be on machines, 6 a minute, so we'll add that goal. And then as soon as we do that, the app builds the full production graph for me. Machines, belts, splitters, everything. For example, at my logistics level here, right, which is at level 4 is 120. This shows that I'm going to need a little more than a belt, so not the best, right? But that's just how the numbers panned out, and we can see all the other machines required in the line before ultimately producing that 1.2 a minute Jupiter on this side. Okay, so again, the Jupiter itself doesn't need heat, but it does need 130.91 a minute of advanced fertilizer in order to produce the 4320 total of flax per minute that we need to power 6 shapers worth of Jupiter production. So as you can see, the out belt is 36 belts, so it's pretty much 1 per nursery we're going to build. But next we want to figure out the advanced fertilizer, so I'm going to go ahead and fit the plan to view here and then create a new goal for advanced fertilizer. Let's see, the fuel, I don't think this one needs fuel either. The basic fertilizer, which we're going to build next, does, but so we can pretty much leave that at default, which is at charcoal. The seeds, so since we are making advanced fertilizer, we don't have it yet, right? But we want to use basic fertilizer as the input, which we'll create another goal for. The target rate at 130.91. Add that goal. As you can see, it adds a subgraph down here that shows us what that looks like, which we can drag over here. We can take that entire subgroup. Let's tighten this up a little bit. The program that I use, or the script that I use to auto output these, does space them out a little by default for safety, so that's fine. We can go ahead and move it over here, fit it to graph. So far we can see we got the advanced fertilizer to feed into the Jupiter production, which is done, but we still need that basic fertilizer, right? So you can easily add another goal for basic fertilizer. This one does need heat, so say we're planning to make coke powder to power everything, or at least this Jupiter line, so we're going to pick coke powder there, which at my fuel efficiency and factory efficiency levels is 726 heat value for coke powder. And for fertilizer, we're just going to use some basic fertilizer to feed this. So what you can do is basically get some basic fertilizer from one of your other productions and feed it into here. and we just need to match the target rate to how much that advanced fertilizer goal needs, so 130.91. Add that in. Drag it over, and we can tighten up this node graph a little bit so that it doesn't leave such a big horizontal footprint within our planning graph here. So I think that might be good. Just bring the output right there, and we can line it up accordingly, right? So we have a pretty good logical chain of things going here. Next, what we want to do is heat this thing. So if we look at our heat graph, so far the basic fertilizer with coke powder needs 8.7 a minute of coke powder at our current factory efficiency and fuel efficiency level. So what I want to do though is, instead of producing exactly 8.7, I want to slightly overproduce the coke powder. So let's find the coke powder here. That's clay. Where's the coke powder? There it is, coke powder. And we're going to use some of the outputting coke powder to power the crucibles and heating devices themselves. Fertilizer, we don't need anything for coke powder production. Target rate, I'm going to do at least 20 just to overproduce so we can extend later on. So there's our coke powder line. Boom, boom, tighten that up. And then we should just be able to logically place this under where it's needed. And as you can see, this coke powder line, the crucibles on there need heat themselves. So if we open up the heat drawer, we can see that, you know, there's an extra need of 0.7 coke powder per minute on top of that 8.7. So we can see the total consumed heat, as well as, let's see here. Yeah, and we can see the total fuel needed by consumers as well, which is what, 9.4. We add those together. So basically that's it, guys. That's your whole line, just so you can keep everything nice and organized and actually build this with some confidence inside your factories in game. So what's cool is, from here you can either use this as is, save it, keep it for yourself, or you can export it as a shared JSON or a shared URL. So I think the URL is just a little cleaner, so we're going to use that as an example. We can copy it, and you can see our UI tells us that it was copied to the clipboard. So if I open a new tab here, I can go ahead and add the link that was copied. And then it says, since we are the creators of this plan, that there's already a plan that exists, so we want to import it as a copy. And then this is the shared read-only view. As you can see, you can't really edit anything on here because it's someone else's plan, and it's according to their skill profile. So that's what's cool about this, is it's really, what I tried to do is make it really transparent about what it takes to build this production as it appears in the graph. So what's cool is you can work towards in-game getting these stats if you really like the layout, or re-rolling your stats so you have exactly this, and then you can save it as an editable copy, which will then, if your stats were different, inherit your global profile stats. So it's pretty, I think it's a pretty good system. Obviously can use some improvements, but that's it, guys. Basically at a high level, that's how you use the app. I'm looking forward to any feedback or what you guys think about how it works right now, or if you'd like to see anything else added. All right, that's it. See you guys soon.